This is the New Moon Calendar and Journal. It's a tool that has been shared with many women around the world, and I want to talk you through some possible ways of using it. There's 3 things that I want to touch on, and the first is your experience of time itself. The second is your personal practice and what you choose to track along with the moon. And the third is the moon cycle itself. So the first thing is time and how you experience time, and how using a calendar that we are probably all very familiar with, where each day is in a box, and those boxes travel in a way that gives the perception that time is linear and goes in a straight line. So using a calendar that is a circle has a way of tuning us back into this circular nature of time, whether it's a circle or a spiral or a cycle. So the calendar itself begins on the new moon at the top and travels clockwise. So most calendars will begin on the first day of the month, and that is not connected in any way to the lunar cycle. Each of these pages is either 29 or 30 days, depending on that particular lunar cycle. So the experience of time may shift and change as you really sink into practicing, noticing, and tracking along with the moon. So your personal practice. You may already know what you would like to track, and you may not, and this may change day to day or from one cycle to the next. So there's no right way to do this. I just want to offer some suggestions and let you know a little about my personal experience. So I designed the calendar to have 3 rings, and this outer ring, there's an inner ring, and then this very central part. The outer ring, I generally put things that have to do with my lifestyle or choices. So that may be time spent in nature. It may be recording a meditation practice by just simply drawing in a symbol, or sometimes I've even just put a gold or silver star on that day. So this is today, and I did my morning meditation, and so I drew a little symbol of somebody sitting and meditating. The inner circle, I generally put things that have more to do with my emotions, my moods, and my physical state or my physical well-being. And that may be whether I'm feeling really tired and depleted, and I'll come and I'll sit and do my morning meditation and then just note that in here for myself. So it's something that I'm aware of, knowing that it's a phase and knowing that it will change, but acknowledging where I am. Whether or not my energy is going more outward, or I'm feeling like connecting and being out of my home, or whether I'm feeling like I need time to retreat and come back to myself, and honoring that. So I'll make a little symbol and draw that in for myself. So this very central part, there's little circles, and I've chosen to write in the number of hours of sleep that I've gotten the night before, as a way to be accountable to myself, really, when I see if I'm going in a cycle of burnout and not sleeping enough. Just to note that and notice that. And then the very center, I color in my menstruation when I'm bleeding, so I can see the ways that it moves and shifts each cycle with the moon. So that's my experience, and it's really, this calendar is a container. It hosts your experience within the context of the lunar cycle, and what you do inside of that is really up to you. It does have 2 parts, and this other part I use almost like an abbreviated journal, so I might choose a couple of words from that day. Sometimes they read like little haikus, and sometimes they read like the name of the book that I was reading, or something that I saw, or if I draw an oracle card that day, what that was, or if there were some animals that came into my experience or crossed my path that day, I'll write that down. The dynamics between me and my family, things like that, just very abbreviated. And by doing this along with the moon, you're noticing the phase, and then noticing what's going on, and connecting and creating that relationship to your experience and this cycle of nature that keeps time, that has a steady rhythm. So that brings me to the third thing, which is the lunar cycle itself. So from here, on the new moon, it travels to the first quarter, growing in light, waxing, expanding, up until the full moon, which is down here at the bottom, and then beginning to wane and beginning to retreat and beginning to dim in light and go, really fade back into darkness in the last quarter, and then back the next cycle begins on the next new moon. So that becomes the place where time can reset, you can reset, and connect to yourself and reflect also on what has gone on in the previous cycle, your experience, your rich experience with so many ebbs and flows. So I offer this to you, and I hope that it supports your journey. If you have any questions or comments, please contact me through my website, which is themoonismycalendar.com, and I look forward to connecting with you.